if I was to say, right, I want you to cover the ball with your chest, that left shoulder actually does go down, doesn't it? Yeah. If your body's not in the right place, i.e. there, compared to there, if you're there, it's almost impossible to get going around your body, isn't it? Because your arms are just going to go up. I like the idea of, as you're rotating, you need to feel like your chest is staying down more. Because more than anything, it just gets your eye line further forward. I think the key move is your first move in terms of that transition. Much better starting point, aren't we? From behind, the hip turn looks better. So that feeling of your left hip moving back. Yeah. So your hips are turning back, but then equally, we have to get the upper body forward, don't we? Because I think obviously you can be this way, but then that way, as opposed to there. I like the feeling of left hip back. I'd continue with that, but I also like right shoulder down and forward from the top, where you get into a good plane, albeit it's a bit short. If I was to say, right, I want you to cover the ball with your chest, that left shoulder actually does go down, doesn't it? It's probably just a slightly different way of explaining it, but yeah, you'll feel like you're like that, as opposed to, it's not quite an early extension, but you see that in people that have got this early extension where they just pop up, as opposed to cover it, chest in front of the ball, and then I'd almost exaggerate to a point where you almost feel like you're staying down longer than, what you'd normally be. I always say to people, try not to see the ball as like the end target. Like, I always think if you swing towards the target and let the ball get in the way, well, I think so many of us, and I see that in your swing, where you're almost trying to help the ball up. I really think that if we just watch this finish position, and we're over the right shoulder, as opposed to, and I think if you allow your body to keep turning, look over the right shoulder, rightly, I agree, you're right, your club head should keep going around and around and around. That's it. And then over that right shoulder. That's it, keep going, that's it. There you go. And a nice thought, right? If you just into that position again, all the way through, you almost want to feel like your chest is punching behind you. Not at the target. Not at the target. Keep going, yeah. Nice. Let's take a look at that. A bit more centered on the backswing.
Yeah. More down with that right shoulder.
Yeah.
More down and forward.
Correct. Down and forward. Yeah. I think it's this move here where you just tilt back a touch.
Yeah.
And we start. And again, if we play it, you almost see you're almost chasing it a bit, aren't you, with the upper body there? See, I like to see. Imagine your left ankle, left knee, hip. I almost like to see that as a straight line up.
Further forward.
Or just a little bit that way, yeah. The more you can move your sternum that way, the more then you strike, your low point improves, you start hitting down a bit more, and as you say, off the turf, that's it. That's what you want to do. Yeah. If your body's not in the right place, i.e. there, compared to there, if you're there, it's almost impossible to get going around your body, isn't it? Because your arms are just going to go up. It's lateral and rotational, isn't it? That's basically what it is. You think about from there, you want the lateral, but then you also want the rotational. You can't have one or the other. Yeah. Right idea, but just need to keep turning. I actually felt like that was good, and then you didn't turn through. It's trying to get the feeling for I always think, because the downswing happens so fast, to have two thoughts is quite hard, isn't it? Where I'd say from there, it's trying. I like the idea of as you're rotating, you need to feel like your chest is staying down more, because you're so much that way. I think if you can keep your chest down, and again you see like the Harrington drill and the Gary Player drill where they're like sort of stepping onto it. You think how much they're staying down and forward. Nearly, but it was a bit of a lunge on the way down. Did it feel like that? I saw the intent of that, but then you've got to keep rotating through. Yeah, more like it. And again, you should feel it in your follow through there. So there, you're leaning forward more. That's what you want. And again, still keep thinking about that finish position. So I think from here, down, but then let's get into that finish position. Yes, closer. Right idea. Think about the concept of even just a golf shot getting in the air. We all want to lean back, because we're trying to help it up. But the more we can, again, we always talk about hitting down, don't we? But you're trying to do everything in your body to hit down and then keep turning through. Yes, that's the idea. Most tour players, at the finish position, the closest part of their body to the target is the hips, definitely. But I think in your case, where you're so much the other way, you almost need to feel the chest to actually get that, because you're never going to do that. So I think, and yeah, going back to the power question, yeah, like obviously, if we can use the lower body, and I mean, McIlroy's obviously the talk of the town, if you like, but he more than anybody uses hips and uses the ground to push up, and you'll see him pushing up, and you actually see his legs almost extend quite a lot there. But if you were to watch him, certainly with an iron, he's still very much there. Yeah, nice, good. To show you this drill, Jerry. So before we get into that, if you would like a more tailored approach to your game, please reach out on Skillist. There's a link in the description below. I've got lots of programs on there to help you reach your goals for this year. What you will receive is an analysis of your swing, broken down frame by frame, and then you will receive a video of me demonstrating exactly what you need to work on, along with some drills to help you reach your goals much sooner. Back to the video. So basically, especially when you're off mats, because quite often we don't get the feedback. So all I want you to do is strike the ball and miss the mat, miss the towel. And more than anything, it just gets your eye line further forward, because you're thinking, let's get in front of the, and then every time you improve it, you can just move the ball back, touch closer. But again, just to strip it back a little bit, I think the key move is your first move in terms of that transition. So going back to what you were saying at the start, I think if we can get that move, then actually from there all you're doing is just turning through it. I think in the past where your move has been that, then it's too late, isn't it? Yeah. Where if you're there, then you're in a position just to turn through. So the first move, up from the top, left shoulder, down, which is essentially what we've said in the past about covering the ball. We're trying to get the chest in front of the ball. As you're moving that shoulder forward, the hands don't want to be pulling down, they want to be there. And then you're on top of it. That's it, yeah. And yeah. And then you're on top of it there. So just do that again once more there. Forward, down, there you go. So you're in position there just to turn through. Should feel a lot more on top of the ball. Yeah. That's quite a good little drill just to get you visually moving forward. Brilliant. And I think this comes back to, your first move. If you can get your first move to be in the right position, then actually you're then just collecting the ball as you're turning, aren't you? Rather than consciously trying to hit down at it,